Hello everyone, welcome back to Winglands. I am Swarup and let's get started. So today again we'll be talking about FPV and how you would be getting started with FPV. Well, to get things straight to the point, in order to start FPV you might be thinking that it's a very expensive hobby, so I would require a lot of money to spend, and so let's skip it. Well, I want you to rethink once because it's really not that hard to get into FPV, and it's really not that expensive as well to get into FPV. So if well, you will need to make at least some investment, for example, maybe buying a controller like this, or maybe buying a remote like this. So you may have a controller lying around at home. If you have ever gamed, or if you have a controller lying around, you can start with that. Well, that is definitely not ideal because in these controllers the the sticks are not exactly behaving like how it behaves in our controllers over here. But yeah, you can like kind of get sort of a head start with these controllers as well, but it's best to have a proper radio controller only. Now, this is a very expensive controller. This is a TBS Tango 2. That is a very expensive one. It's not really required that you get started with an expensive controller only. You can even use old FSI6 5K controller if you have that at home. Or you can buy like a Radiomaster Pocket or something like that. Because seriously speaking, nowadays controllers are very advanced with Express LRS coming into play. That is like the open source protocol that this radios used earlier in earlier days when I started flying FPV. The only Crossfire was the most advanced one. Other than that, we had like other protocols like Futaba, then FR Sky, then iBus, SBus, all those things. So for in those days we didn't used to get so much advanced controllers like radio controllers in the market other than these expensive ones, but now you can get even better experience than this controller that I'm holding over here with like a 5,000 rupee this one, the Radiomaster Pocket. As I speak, I'll link them down in the description, so you can get it hold of one of those. Basically, to get started with flying FPV you require just a radio controller or even a game controller. Hook it up with your system and get going with a FPV flying simulator. So an FPV drone flying simulator would be like something like Liftoff. Then we have Velocity Drone, we have DRL, and there are a ton of simulators in the market. So we'll jump into the computer screen and see what options we have. A simulator is basically like a computer game that you can use in order to get a very similar experience to what you would get if you were to fly the FPV drone in real life. So you get to learn the basics of flying FPV without actually buying or building an original FPV drone yourself. So it's that easy to get into FPV. Basically, you don't really require to start by building or buying a new FPV drone. You can just get a radio controller, a cheap one obviously, or a basic controller if you have at home. You can use that to get into FPV. So let's jump to the screen and start the video. Alright, so if you don't have a Steam account, you'll need to create a Steam account for this first, because we are going to download the game from Steam. You do have other options other than Steam account. If you can see what option you have in my screen, I would not speak of it because of YouTube regulations, but if you know, you know. So let's maybe try to create a Steam account. If you don't have it, there are people who are going to ask it, I know that, so that's fine. You can just go ahead and search for Steam account, go to sign in, and then maybe create a new account and then log into the application. Download the Steam application. It will look something like this after you log in. So going inside Steam, you can see that I already have the like two simulators side by side as loaded in my game library because I have purchased them. I have started off by not purchasing them, but then when I saw that okay, they are worth purchasing, I have done it. So I can assure you that any one of these two you buy, it will be going to add value to your FPV learning journey. Although Liftoff is going to add the most amount of value. So let's see how to install Liftoff only first. The same thing will repeat for Uncrashed, right? So what you are going to do first is go to the store page, go here and search for Liftoff. So if you search for Liftoff like this, you'll see there are a ton of results coming. Don't look at any one of those. Look at the first one, that is liftoff FPV drone racing. This is by Rotor Riot team, I think, if I'm not wrong. Okay, this is by Lugo Studios, I think, like Lugo Studios. Okay, fine. So Rotor Riot, I think they are like the partnership. I think it is made in partnership with Rotor Riot, not totally made by Rotor Riot. That's fine. So this is the game studio, I think, who has made this. So this is the game page of, like, the store page of Liftoff. Currently it is selling for 999 rupees, but I have purchased it for much less cost. I purchased it for, I think, around like 600. I even have seen it going like around 500 at times. So you maybe want to look forward to some upcoming deals, some upcoming like offers provided by Steam, maybe on Black Friday sale or something like that. Or for the timing, you do have the other options, right? If you know, you know. I won't speak of that. So this is Liftoff. You can see there are some screenshots provided here, although this is not how you are going to look at your drone while flying, because you are going to fly FPV, right? Well, you do have the option to go to a TPP mode, but you won't be able to fly at all in that mode. So you have like this workbench thing. Let's look at the game. Like when we load it, yeah, it's fundamentally a game, but it has the perfectly laid down physics that are going to work on a real life FPV drone. You can even customize that. You can even customize the rates on your FPV drone that you are going to fly in this simulation. So it's going to give you the closest possible like experience to flying FPV. You can just simply go ahead and click on add to cart and then purchase it from here and add to library and install it. Once it is installed, you will be able to simply play it like any other game and hook it up with your FPV controller that you are going to use, that you have purchased recently, and then you are good to go. So let's first start by downloading the game. Okay, so I already have it purchased, so I would like fit this store page. I'll go to the game library that I have over here. I click on it and hit install. So select a drive, whichever suits you. Currently I have the C drive over here. For some reason my like secondary SSD is not showing up here. I have to see what is the issue. That's fine. Let's go ahead and install it. So once it is installed, we'll come back. So let's fast forward to the installation.
A few minutes later.
Alright, so we are good to start the simulation because it is already downloaded. As you can see, opening my Steam, it is clearly visible that the game is downloaded on my system, and now we can just click on play, right? So let's hit play and wait for it to launch. It would take some time for the first launch maybe. So side by side, I've also got my controller. So for today's demonstration, I will be primarily using this TBS Tango 2 transmitter that I own, and I use it for most flying sessions that I have. So we'll be using this Type-C cable. You see, this is a generic Type-C USB Type-C cable. I've connected it to my system, and I will be connecting the other end to the Type-C port of my controller. As you can see on the screen as well, we are greeted with the like splash screen saying getting started. Let's look at connecting the controller as well. I'll push the pin over here and turn on the radio. Let's turn it on.
Welcome to Tango 2.
See, so the radio is on. We have these options, as you can see, saying USB joystick, USB agent HID, USB charging, and USB storage. Let me center the thing in my camera. So yeah, I hope you are able to see this. It's very bright actually. So you have to select the USB joystick option because we'll be using our remote control as our joystick in this case. So let's just click on the jog wheel and select the joystick option. So as you can see, the TBS joystick is directed in the screen. It says on the top. Let's hit next and click on view controller. So it shows a generic controller like that, but yeah, it is connected for sure. So first thing we need to do is hit calibrate, because we need to calibrate our sticks with this simulator so the simulator can talk properly to the inputs that we provide through our sticks over here, right? So let's click on start calibration, and now we'll be taking all the sticks to the extreme ends that will give it the simulator an understanding of exactly how distant the throws of each of our sticks are. So now let us bring them back to center. Let me center this properly. Where is the page to yeah, so I will be properly centering my controller and leave it like that. This will take the center properly. Now what I need to do is I need to just head this top to record the throttle up position. Then I'll again bring this down to 0, somewhere around 0 maybe. Yep, and that will take the center again. Now we'll push this stick up to take the elevator up position, and now we'll bring that to the center again. And now we'll do push this to the right and check the right throw. So again we'll bring that to the center and do the same to the throttle stick as well. So let's keep this at 0, and yep, we are done. So that is how you are going to calibrate. See, now the drone on the side moves exactly like how we are like moving our remote, and even the remote that is there in the simulator, the generic one, it is also mimicking the exact stick movements that we are doing in our remote. So that is how you can successfully calibrate your radio with the FPV simulator. You can even go into fine tune and adjust the dead zones if you have any. I don't have it because these are using the Hall sensor gimbals by TBS, and like now if you buy any radio controller of that regard, you will be getting Hall sensor gimbals only. Like gone are those days of having potentiometer gimbals. These are very old and very choppy, so it's better to get any remote with a Hall sensor gimbal only, right? So even the pockets that I shared in the video will be containing Hall sensor gimbals in it only, so you can be assured about that as well. So we are done with the controller calibration. Let's hit next and click on some button bindings. Let's bind a few buttons to mimic the actions that we are going to perform in real life. This is totally up to you. This is customizable, whatever you want to do it. I'll be doing it close as possible to how I fly, how I have my controller mapped in my Betaflight configuration tab. So I'll be putting the arm button, the arm on button, to this shoulder button over here. I'll push it down. That will be the axis 4 plus button to arm, and the disarm button will be axis 4 plus minus. Like if I click it back, it will come up and it will be disarmed, right? So I'll be pushing it again, and that will be done for disarm. Then for reset, we don't have a reset button though, but we can maybe keep it to any button that I have over here, which I am not using, like this back button over here, you see. Let's confirm that. Then we have turtle mode. Turtle mode is very important. Like in my normal quad also, I generally use this button as the turtle mode button. So what is turtle mode? It's basically, anyways, I will show you in the simulator, but just to give a brief idea, if your drone is like has crashed and is dropped in a certain way that it is facing upside down, like it's upside down and lying on the ground, so you can hit turtle mode and move your this joystick, I mean not the joystick, like this gimbals to any direction. That will make the drone make a sudden steer to the direction and make it like correct its orientation, so that you are again able to fly, right? So that is turtle mode. Let's assign that to this button, and now let's hit confirm. What else do we have over here? I think none of them we require now. We can adjust the camera angle with our arrow keys on the keyboard of our computer only, because I don't have any dials in this remote. If I had the dials, I would have assigned that to that. You can do that. I think in the pocket there is some dial present, if I'm not wrong. So let's go to hide and let's go to next. So we are a advanced pilot. You can select new pilot. That will give make this like simulator give you a basic training, I think, for the for flying the FPV drone. Let's select advanced pilot for us, and let's click on apply and go to next. And you can create a Liftoff Pro account. I do have one. I won't waste time doing this now. Let's skip that and go to next and done. So we are done with the account, I mean with the setup of this simulator. This is the menu screen that we are greeted with after completing the initial setup that I just showed you a bit ago. So in this screen you can see the menu options like single player, multiplayer, tools, options, quit, so whatever. In options you get to see any other options, like any options in any other games, like for example the graphic options, audio options. For example, we'll be muting the music because maybe there is some copyright issues, so let's mute the music there. In controls, we can go to the controller from here directly, or maybe do some fine-tune adjustments if we want to, but we'll not do that because we have already completed the controller like adjustment setup process. So this is the same page C where we were doing the calibration of our controller with the sticks in the simulator. So let's start with free flight. We have other modes, you can explore those, like race is for like racing modes, racing with like bots and ghost pilots, and then freestyle is for like doing some freestyle stunts and pulling off certain maneuvers and moves to capture and gather points and build up your high score. We have quick play, tutorial. I'll leave all of those. Let's go to free flight because that is like the free roam mode we have over here. So I guess you can see my controller clearly and also the screen. So coming to the screen here, you see there are several maps you can choose from. So for today's tutorial, maybe we can choose Bardwell's Yard. You know Joshua Bardwell. He's also another goat in the FPV world, teaching people. Even I have, like, you can just we can just go to his this map is basically based on his home, I think. So let's go to no track. We don't need any separate track. Let's select any one of the build from here. Don't select the DJI FPV build if it's coming there, because it's not a good drone to start with when you are learning for the first time. So you can select any one of these. Let me select this one. This looks nice. I think it's based out of that Foxier Reaper frame, if I'm not wrong. That's fine. They will be performing pretty similar only. So this is the first screen that we are greeted with. You can see my controller layout right in front of you in the screen, and also you can also see the sticks position in the screen overlay, like in the game, in the simulator overlay, right? We have altitude and speed on the corners. These this OSD elements that you're seeing here, it will not be sufficient. It is very less. You have more OSD elements in the OSD that you will be going to set up in beta flight. But for practicing, I think we don't need so many things. We can just practice stick movements. Simulator is basically for stick movements. It is not there to make you ready for the real world, but at least the stick movements, the reflexes that you require for flying FPV, that you can gather by practicing on a simulator. So it's a very good looking simulator, the FF one, although the graphics is a bit aged, but that's fine. So if you remember clearly, we set up our this shoulder button. Okay, it's already pressed. Let me unpress, and okay. So this shoulder button we set up for arming the quad. So we can click on that, and that will arm the quad. There are some shortcuts from keyboard that we can use. We can click on C. That will bring the noise in the screen. I will not be taking noise for the video, but you can have it to have the closer experience to how it will look when you are flying analog. For digital, there is no noise, by the way. And there is the V button that will help you go to this third person mode to check how the drone looks while flying. I'll also show some areas to explain how the drone is oriented. Then we have the M button that will, okay, M is not working. That's fine. I think they have removed this binding. Maybe it earlier used to change modes. So anyways, we are going to fly acro mode only, and it is currently set to acro. That's fine. Then let's arm our quad by this shoulder button. It will be different in your case if you have assigned it to something else. Let me arm my quad. See, the quad is the propellers are rotating. If you go to this third person mode, you will be able to see the propellers rotating. See, disarm, arm, like that. So then what you need to do is, let's stay in the third person for some time so that I can show you the basic movements of the drone. So this is the left joystick, I mean the left stick that we have. Don't call it joystick, that's like a gaming term. This is like the right stick we have. This stick is for pitch forward, pitch backward, roll right, roll left, and this is for throttle up, throttle down, your right and your left. Okay, so let's start with throttle up, throttle down. So if you slowly move the stick up, the drone will throttle up and climb up in the sky. See, it's flying, it's hovering in the air. I am barely moving the right hand stick to make it stay in one place, although it's very easy for us to maintain the drone at a specific area in the simulator, but it would not be this easy to make it hover in a single area in real life, because in real life other components like air resistance, then turbulence, wind current, these things will come. So be ready for that. It's much easier to make it like settle at one single area in the simulator. But yeah, you can also practice like throttle control with the simulator by doing this exercise. Don't do it in this first person mode, I mean in this third person mode. Always click on V and switch to the FPV mode and then do it, because that is how you are going to fly FPV in real life. So this, see, in FPV mode it's much more harder to maintain. So always practice with the FPV mode. Okay, then we have some other motions that we have over here. Like the other motions that we have is, we can throttle up to go up, climb up in the sky. We can throttle down not really throttle down, we are just releasing the stick to go down a bit so that the drone comes down from the height like this. See, coming down with throttle down, throttle up, and it will climb up. So it's that easy. Other movements, other stick movements that you require to understand is to the yaw movements you have. Let's go to this first person mode and return to the area where we were standing. So this is that area. Okay, so to understand the yaw movements, what you need to do is you need to move this stick left and right. See, if I move this left, it will go to left. I mean, if I move this right, it will go to right. If I move this left, it will go to left. So this horizontal rotation is basically called the yaw movement. So if you are going to do that in air, it will look something like this. See, this is how we look backward, we look front. We make the quad orient in a certain direction using the yaw axis. So this motion that you are seeing over here, see, that was a bad crash, that's fine. This motion I am doing by using the roll axis as well, by tilting the roll axis a bit as well. So let's not look at the roll axis for now. Let's understand the yaw and the throttle up, throttle down. So this is throttle up, this is leaving the throttle down, the drone will drop. Then you will have to again catch it up by giving some throttle, and that will make the drone again floaty in the sky. Other than that, the yaw movement are this: yaw right, yaw left. It's very simple. We have the roll sticks. So this is the roll sticks. So what it does is, the first action to perform here is pitch forward. So what is to pitch forward? To pitch forward means to make the drone tilt forward, making the camera look a bit towards the downward position. And to tilt backward means to make the drone tilt backward and make the camera look up. See, so let's first tilt forward and do a pitch forward motion. So this is the pitch forward stick movement. You push the stick towards the, towards away from you. So that will make the we are going outside the track. So that will make the drone pitch forward like this. See? The more you pitch forward, the faster you have to throttle up in order to stay airborne. Or else, if you are at a lower throttle value like this, suppose you are at a lower throttle value like this, and at this position you are going to push the sticks toward the west end, the drone will crash like this. Obviously, right? Because the drone is pitching forward, it is making its orientation look downward, but it is not generating enough lift to stay at that angle. So you need to proportionately increase your throttle as well while doing this pitch forward motion. Okay, so okay, we are in a different mode it seems. Let me change the mode to acro. Alright, we have fixed this issue. We have already assigned one button to switch between level and acro, so I'll be using the level button to show you the level movements. But let's continue our discussion. So if we are on acro mode, let's on the quad, and we will be able to move forward, pitch forward like this, and we can pitch backward like this. So what I was saying is you have to proportionately keep on increasing your throttle in order to stay airborne at certain pitch angles. So lower pitch angle will require lower throttle to go forward and stay airborne, but higher pitch angle will definitely require higher throttle values. Well, at lower pitch angle, if you increase the throttle too much, the drone will climb up in the sky. So in order to keep your drone level and stay at a single line while flying forward, you need to maintain that sweet proportion between pitching forward and increasing the throttle. So that is how you can get this straight parallel to the ground flying. Okay. Other than this, you also have the reverse throttle, that is the pitch backward thing. So this is generally used for motions like this power loop. These are like like some maneuvers in FPV drone, like the power loop that you do like this in order to look up and go down around like this. So that is like a power loop. So pitch backward, you won't be requiring it much time, but yeah, in some situations, maybe to look up a bit, to look to like do a roll flip towards back. In these areas, you need to use the pitch backward motion as well, right? Other than that, we have the roll action here. So that is done by moving this stick, this right hand stick towards right or towards left, to roll right, to roll left. So where it comes into play, you can do like these sudden rolls. These are called like the aileron rolls. You can do by moving this stick. So I will be making a detailed video about all these maneuvers later, but yeah, for the setup and starting up with this FPV simulator and practicing you can maybe start with this video. I hope it helped. I hope you are able to see how the stick movements I am making here are translating to my FPV simulator and how they are actually working out all together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and share with your friends, and stay tuned for the next one. Happy learning, happy flying.